Hey there, I'm Kiki. Some might already know Telos, but in case you don't, it's a free-to-play multiplayer FPS with really fast movement. I've been secretly working on a brand new version of the game, rewritten from scratch with new netcode gameplay, for the past 8 months. I've painstakingly rewritten everything from scratch, from the movement to the weapon mechanics and user interface. The game's also received a bunch of improvements and new features, so let me show you around. One of the first things I've decided to work on in this new version of Telos is movement, the foundation of gameplay. As it stands, movement in Legacy, which is the currently available version of the game on itch.io, is really simple, but has surprising depth. You can obviously move, jump, and slide, but what distinguishes Telos from all the other movement shooters is its wall jump mechanic. Most movement shooters tend to use a simple wall run mechanic that lets you glide along a surface in a predefined path. While it's a really fun mechanic, while doing research I found two major issues with it. First, as I've previously mentioned, you go along a predefined path. While you can exit that path at any moment, you're still just moving along it, and this requires minimal input from the player. I want something more engaging and that asks the player for more input and creativity. And well, second, most movement shooters use this mechanic, and I just wanted it to be different. So I came up with wall jumping. It's like double jumping, but you need to be touching a surface that isn't the ground to initiate it, and it allows for some really great tricks. Let me show you. But I figured that only having this one mechanic for movement wasn't enough, if you don't count slides of course. I figured that dashes will bring a lot of depth to fights and more maneuverability to the player. If you've been paying attention, you might have noticed this little grapple icon, and you might have seen me use it during gameplay. We'll talk about that a bit later. While movement hasn't changed all that much since the last Legacy build, gunplay has been improved by a lot. One of the biggest issues was the recoil being too abrupt and not smooth enough, so I rewrote it from scratch to use mathf.lerp to be much more fluid. It also now automatically recenters your crosshair after shooting, as this mechanic was completely missing from the previous iteration. You may have noticed that yes, now you have arms! Wow, such a revolutionary feature. While these models and animations are placeholders, mostly the animations, because I made them and I'm really bad at it, they should be indicative of what you should expect from the update's release. Another new mechanic is aiming down sights. While you could zoom in Legacy, you could only do so with certain long-range weapons, and it didn't have any animations. Essentially, it sucked. So now I've added it to all weapons, yes, even on SMGs, and made animations for it. And also reduces the recoil and spread of the weapon, making it much more precise as an incentive to use it. There is also a lot of changes to the gunplay, such as hit effects and such, and now killing your enemies feels much more satisfying. You can also change your hit sounds to 8 different settings now, and yes, one of them is the Discord ping. Yeah, it looks quite different, doesn't it? Well, the layout of it is completely different, the shooting range is still here, and has been pretty much left intact, to be honest. What's new is the arena. Taking the place of the parkour course, the practice arena is a new practice feature that pits you against dummies that now try to kill you, and you must survive as many waves as them as possible. The reason why this currently replaces the parkour course is mostly because I created this as a testing environment for all the new mechanics such as dashes and the new abilities that I'll go over next. Currently, enemies are sort of just dumb, they don't move, they spin around like this, and they kill each other quite often. While I'm too lazy to actually make them good, I'll just add it to the Trello list and hope future KQ just fixes them. I've been working on machines for almost a year now, and they're supposed to release in 0.5.0, but I ended up delaying them numerous times. But I'm glad to say that they will finally be implemented in 0.6.0, and I can finally show you guys the first two abilities in action, as well as some of the concept art made by my friend Ronu. The first one is Telos. Its ability is a stim pack that gives you a 6-second long 30% movement speed boost, and has a 12-second cooldown. I thought that this would be the easiest ability to first implement, as it's a fat movement speed buff, while also being really fun to play with. I was thinking of also adding buffs such as damage resistance and such, but for the time being, it'll remain like this. The second one is Atlas, which I'm the most proud of. Its ability is a grapple hook that, you might have guessed, lets you do cool movement tricks like this. And well, I've been wanting to implement a hook like this in Telos for a while now, and I'm pretty happy to see how it turned out. Well, this is all I can show you in game. I can also show you the concept art for a few more machines, such as the aforementioned Atlas, but also Captain, who wields a frag grenade that deals the AoE damage, as well as Animos, who can throw a ring that it can teleport to. You might have guessed that most of these machines only have movement abilities, but I've also got a lot of other concepts for ones that have more aggressive abilities that can deal damage, for example, but those are still in the works for now. Well, this is all really cool. I'm sure that you guys are all wondering when you will get a chance to play this new update. We're currently testing the game through Steam, and I'm planning on launching the first multiplayer alpha test around November-December, when the netcode rework will bring the game to playable state again. Until then, I'll definitely make more devlogs for you guys, as more content is on the way soon. If you want to be kept updated about any news, or even get alpha access for any future tests, don't forget to join our Discord server, the link is down below. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the first devlog of many more to come, and thanks for watching.